Hello, everybody. This is Justin Perez once again, and welcome back to the Air Raid Saturdays College Football YouTube channel. Today, we're just going to be doing another one of these point spread picks. I posted on my community tab. I don't know if any of you saw it, that I didn't do the point spread picks for week 2 as well as my top 10 games because I was feeling kind of emotionally down, and I was just spent with all the schoolwork that I had last week and all the stuff that I had to read. But now I'm back. I'm actually in the process. I just started today working on my every touchdown compilation from week 2. I'm gonna try to put that out within the next couple of days, but if I don't get it done by this Saturday, don't worry about it. I'll get that done soon enough. It's been really busy, man. But we're gonna get into it. I'm just gonna go through every single game that features 2 FBS teams and just show you my point spread picks. Very self-explanatory. Don't need to go into much detail. So let's go. Alright, so obviously the week starts off tomorrow on Thursday, September 14th, in a game against American Athletic Conference rivals. We have the Navy Midshipmen against the Memphis Tigers. Obviously, Navy, they're 1-1 as of right now. They got destroyed by Notre Dame in week 0, and they ended up beating, I believe it was Wagner. They ended up beating last week. I think they had an early bye week as well. Obviously I forget what teams have bye weeks because, there's so many things going on in college football almost every single week that it's hard to gauge. But I'm gonna take Memphis as the favorite in this one. Give me the 14-point spread. Obviously, Memphis is a way better football team than Navy, and the way that Navy plays on offense, this game could get out of hand pretty quickly because they might not be able to chew the clock and get first downs and all that. We already know how these military academy teams play, so give me Memphis to cover. The 14-point spread as the favorite. And then we have 3 games on Friday, September 15th. Starting out with Army going on the road against UTSA. I'll take UTSA to cover the 9-point spread. Same reasons as to why I picked Memphis to cover the spread. And then we have Virginia at Maryland. Maryland's favored by 14.5. Give me them. Virginia, I could see it's possible. I mean, I know Virginia played Tennessee in the first week, got destroyed, which was expected. And then obviously last week they ended up coming back home for their home opener and they lost to James Madison by a single point. Obviously Maryland, they're a team that could put up just a crap ton of points. They got a pretty good offense, so give me Maryland to cover the spread against a really weak Virginia team that's in rebuilding mode. And then also give me Utah State covering the 9.5-point spread as the underdog against the Air Force Falcons. So those are the weekday games. Now we have a whole slate of Saturday games. Starting off with Wake Forest going on the road at Old Dominion. Give me Wake Forest to cover the spread on that one. Old Dominion, they played another ACC team, which is lowly Virginia Tech, and they had a tough time even getting close in that game. So, and Wake Forest is a way better football team than Virginia Tech. So I'll take Wake Forest to cover the 2-touchdown spread. And then you have one of the bigger games on the week. You have number 14 LSU going on the road to take on Mississippi State. I believe that the Bulldogs will cover the spread. They're underdogs by 9.5 points. But I like the way that they've been playing so far to start the season. I know that Miss State has played weaker competition during the first 2 weeks of the season. I forgot the 2 opponents that they played. I'm actually searching it up right now. But obviously Mississippi State, I think they're a good enough team to not get demolished by LSU. I mean, it could happen, but I'll take Miss State to cover the spread. I'm looking at their schedule right now. They destroyed Southeast Louisiana in the first week, and they took down Arizona in overtime, 31-24. So we'll see how this game goes. But yeah, I'll take Miss State to cover the spread. That was kind of easy for me. I didn't really think too much about that one, but I'll take Miss State. And then we have Iowa State going on the road against the Ohio Bobcats. I got Iowa State covering the minuscule 3-point spread. I think they'll win this game by at least a touchdown, maybe more. Yeah. And then we have Florida State at Boston College. Obviously, I'm taking Florida State to cover the spread in that one too, because I mean, let's literally, let's be honest. Boston College stinks. They got a win last week against Holy Cross, but it was only by a 3-point margin. So, Boston College stinks. They lost to Northern Illinois. Give me Florida State all day to cover the spread. Then I have Georgia Southern covering a 19.5 point spread as the underdog against Wisconsin. I think Georgia Southern is going to be again. They can be competitive against these Group of 5 teams, so I'll expect that to happen here. I have number 7 Penn State covering the 14.5 point spread against Illinois. This game might be close at the end of the first half, but by the second half, I think Penn State will just run away with this one and claim an easy win. And then we have number 15 Kansas State on the road against Missouri, who's a really good football team. Both teams are 2-0 heading into this one. Kansas State, I believe, is going to win. And, the point spread is literally just 5 points or 4.5. So I think Kansas State will win by a touchdown. So give me Kansas State to cover that spread as well. Alright, so now let's continue on here. I had to do a different slide for this one. So continuing on with the Saturday games, I got Liberty beating Buffalo by at least a touchdown. So let me get that point spread covered. Liberty's favored by just 3.5. Then I have Eastern Michigan covering a 7-point spread as a favorite against UMass. This one's a little bit tough though. I got number 9 Notre Dame covering a 34.5 point spread against Central Michigan. Notre Dame, I think they'll destroy the Chippewas. Chippewas have been really competitive in the past against some of these Group of 5 teams, but I think Notre Dame's going to just be running on these guys all day long. So give me the Fighting Irish to cover. I'll take Western Michigan to cover the 28.5 point spread against Iowa. And, Iowa, I haven't seen anything from Iowa yet that's going to tell me that they're going to run away with this game. They played Utah State in the first week of the season, and, they only won by 10. So, it's like Iowa, their offense is improved, but it's still not like lights out. So as a result, I'm going to go Western Michigan. Unless if Iowa can get some turnovers and just set the offense up in position and, get like touchdowns from inside their own 25, inside Western Michigan's 25-yard line. I don't see the Hawkeyes covering a 4-touchdown spread against the Broncos. I have Rutgers covering a 6.5-point spread against Virginia Tech. I got number 16 Oregon State covering a 25-point spread against San Diego State. I got number 21 Duke covering an 18.5-point spread against Northwestern. I got number 19 Oklahoma covering a 27.5-point spread against Tulsa as the favorite. Alabama's a 32-point favorite against USF, and I have them covering it. I have Georgia covering a 27.5-point spread as the favorite against South Carolina. I got East Carolina covering the 9-point spread as an underdog against Appalachian State. And same thing with Minnesota. This time Minnesota is the underdog by 7.5 against number 20 North Carolina. But I got the Golden Gophers covering that. I have UConn covering the touchdown spread as the favorite against Florida International. I got the same thing with Texas A&M as they're favored by 36.5 points against lowly Louisiana Monroe. That's an easy one for me. I have Tulane covering a 12.5-point spread against Southern Miss on the road as the favorite. Then I have number 6 Ohio State beating Western Kentucky by more than 29 points. They should blow them out of the water, in my opinion. So I got them covering that. I got Michigan State covering a 15.5-point spread against Michigan State. I think I said Michigan by accident. I meant to say Michigan State, but you all can read the screen. I mean, you all know. But, so I got the Spartans covering that. I got Georgia State covering a 7.5-point spread against Charlotte. Charlotte's a terrible football team. The Panthers of Georgia State should easily cover that one. I have James Madison covering a 2.5-point spread as the underdog against Troy. I have Miami of Ohio covering a 14-point spread against Cincinnati as the underdog. Toledo's going to cover a touchdown spread as the favorite against San Jose State. And I have Louisiana Tech covering a minute 4.5-point spread against North Texas. So that's what I have here. And then now this is the last slide. I know there's a bunch of games to go through, but I have Oklahoma State covering a 7-point spread against South Alabama. I mean, I know South Alabama is a good team, but I was a little bit surprised by Oklahoma State only being favored by a touchdown, but I'll take that. I also have UAB covering a minute 2-point spread as the favorite against Louisiana. I got Northern Illinois covering the 10.5-point spread as an underdog against Nebraska. Vanderbilt is an underdog by 4 points only on the road against UNLV. I'll take Vanderbilt to cover that. Number 11 Tennessee is favored by only a touchdown against Florida. I'll take the Vols to cover that. Also take Syracuse to cover a 2.5-point spread against Purdue. Then I have Ole Miss covering an 18.5-point spread against Georgia Tech as the favorite. I got number 2 Michigan This is the final game of Jim Harbaugh's 3-game suspension. I got the Wolverines covering a 40.5-point spread against Bowling Green. I got Arkansas covering an 8-point spread against BYU. I have Kentucky covering a 26-point spread as the favorite against Akron. Pittsburgh will cover a minuscule 1-point underdog spread against West Virginia. I got number 4 Texas covering the 29.5-point spread against Wyoming as the favorite. Somehow New Mexico State is the favorite against New Mexico, but only by 2 points. So I'll take the Aggies to cover the spread against the Lobos. Then number 13 Oregon's playing Hawaii, and their favorites win by 38 points. I'll take that all day. I'll also take Houston to cover the 7.5-point spread as the underdog against TCU. I have Clemson taking down FAU by more than 25, so take that as the favorite. Number 18 Colorado will take down Colorado State as the favorite by 23.5 points. Fresno State is the favorite against Arizona State by 3 points. I'll take the Bulldogs to cover that. I'll take the Jayhawks of Kansas to cover a 28-point spread as the favorite against Nevada. And I have UTEP covering an 18-point spread on the road as the underdog against Arizona. So these are my point spread picks for week 3. If you look at this schedule at this slate of games, you could just tell that this schedule for week 3 is a little bit underwhelming. There's not many games that make you go off the couch and say, "Oh, I have to watch these games." But there are some underrated quality games, and I will stress that point again when I go through my top 10 games of week 3. But as you can see, this week is definitely lacking some prime time, big time games between two really great teams. But there's a lot of underrated gems during the schedule as well. So let me know what you guys think of my point spread picks below. I'm trying to make this as quick as possible because I do not want to go into detail about each and every game. That'll take way too long. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about my point spread picks for this week. And I'll talk to you again soon. I'll try to post my top 10 games for this week as well pretty soon. I'm already getting the slides under production, and then I'll start writing down my notes. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. And remember to please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon.